ready for some bullshit. Be ready for some bullshit.
This is MindDuck Anime Podcast, episode 1.
Yay!
My name is Philip, and I have decided to have a very poor decision in my life, and I decided to suffer immensely. With Chan, Martin, and Adam. How are you guys?
Suffer how?
You really did it to yourself.
I did it to myself.
I think you enjoy suffering, so it's a win-win for you.
I don't enjoy watching anime at all. And I decided to start an anime podcast.
From the list of reasonable suggestions, you picked the most bullshit one.
So we will get into what we chose for the first episode, but just for a short introduction, about a year ago, on the episode 18 of the MindDuck Japan podcast, which I'm the host of, we made an anime special, and it was too much. 5 people, 5 shows, too much shit. And
It's just the right amount.
And we edited it. I edited it, not we. I had to edit it for like half a year.
To be frank, like the problem was that there was like two different audio recordings at 2 different times, and you had to like connect them together somehow, and it was a chaos. So
But I think I did a good job to
yeah,
actually
props
put
to
it
you.
together.
It worked out fine. It worked out good.
So if you're interested in anime and you like this episode, please check out the 18th episode of the MindDuck Japan podcast, where we talked about Girls und Panzer,
Nichijou.
and Hellsing, Black Lagoon, and Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I did it.
one
I
other
remembered. So I figured that this could be potentially an entertaining episode or a show, because usually you get all these people who rave about anime and they love it. And because I don't really enjoy anime, I hope it's gonna give an interesting point of view and some kind of a not one-sided discussion. So enough about me. Thank you, Chen, for joining us. Chen loves anime. She's great at making impressions of anime characters. So we hope to hear some of that. Adam's the anime connoisseur who's got too much anime experience.
I was gonna say manga, but yeah, I guess.
You're way too high of a level for us. You have too much anime. Too much.
I feel like Adam is my personal like anime pimp. I would say because it's always I don't watch too much anime, but every time like Adam recommends something, it's usually a good anime for me. So he has a really good eye for seeing the anime that I would like, and then recommended it to me, and then I enjoy it. So that's my way into anime usually.
That's good. So how much anime have you watched, Adam?
A lot. I can check. I do have my anime list account
Yeah.
that very conveniently logs number of days that I've spent watching anime.
Oh, that actually exists.
Yes, yeah, because it knows how long each episode is, so it can calculate based on the number of episodes and all that. And I'm currently at that's a lot. That's a lot more than I thought. At 85 days and 5,300 episodes.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
That's
Which is
insane.
around 440 individual series and about 50 movies.
So 85 days. How many hours?
That's a bit more than I expected, to be honest. To be fair, these days I watch less than I used.
So if somebody is the co-host, you, please stay. You the guru, pimp, anything you wanna say, just anything you wanna say about anime. Adam knows it, so that's why we need to start this podcast.
Probably heard about it, yes.
Yes, so I'm at mere 26 days, so I have a lot of catching up to do.
So this podcast is a spin-off of the Mind Deck Japan podcast, and the difference is it's gonna be more relaxed, shorter, and like the other books and games podcasts we started, give me a red card if I do something like talk too much or say too much crap, and also Chen, especially for this episode, if I say offensive stuff about anime. Red card.
Okay.
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 So on this first episode, we've been discussing which show to choose. And on each episode, we'd like to do a season, or at least a few episodes, ideally the whole thing. It depends how far people get before they die.
So before you die.
I died quickly, but I pushed through, and I finished the first season. And we picked a show called New Game! Exclamation mark. Why did we choose this, and why did I agree to watch this, you ask? There's a variety of reasons. I'm very excited and interested in game development. So the trap was sprung. It's already getting me into it because of game development. And it's not taking place in a high school. 10 points plus, immediately interested. And also, it looked like it could be funny. Why did you decide to watch it?
Literally, just that season it was coming out, and it was made by Dogakobo Studio, and it was cute girls doing cute things, and
Why do you like the studio? What did they do?
because they do some of the best slice of life cute girls doing cute things anime.
Okay.
They're really, really good at it.
Okay.
Like, out of their production the past 2 or 3 years, I think I didn't like 1 or 2 shows. The rest was really good.
Chen watched it just because I was watching
And I
it.
actually watched it for similar reasons as you. Like, I enjoyed game development, or at least the idea of it. So I wanted to see how it works in Japan, and what's the best way to see it than through an anime, right? That's definitely correct and lifelike representation of how game development works. So
Very accurate.
That's my reason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this show came out in 2016. 2 seasons so far, 12 episodes each, 20 minutes per episode. And it started as a yonkoma manga, which yon is 4 and ma is manga and ko is counting. So it's 4 panels of like the comic strips, I'm sure you know. Which makes perfect sense because that's all you need to tell the story. So we'd like to give you like an overview, our opinions, how we like it, and then in the second part we'd like to look at some spoilers, and we all made notes of the episodes while we watched them.
I have a mental note.
So we should probably say what's it about.
Yeah,
right?
so you guys go ahead, please, and I'll add stuff.
So in short, it's about a girl called Aoba, who starts working at the video game company.
Go on.
And
Tell us
as a designer,
I told you it was a 4 comic strip.
and then hijinks begin. That's pretty much it. And then we follow the development of the game, although it is not exactly the focus for the most part. It's more about I wouldn't call it office politics, but about the office life, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a typical slice of life anime with some drama in it, but the drama is not very heavy. Like, not really that heavy. It's just the everyday problems of like typical anime characters, and I think it's the anime you want to watch if you just wanna like forget about kind of your daily problems and just see, other people also have problems, and like they're usually not that big of a deal, but they still struggle with it. So maybe it's just this really nice view of office space and how people are struggling to have normal relationships in those office space and how they are having really anxieties about things that don't really matter. And that's what I
Definitely
liked
a
about
huge theme of this show, a huge plot point. Freak about and be anxious about literally anything.
Yeah.
Paper falls on the floor, super anxiety attack. You put it very well, in a very romantic way. I wouldn't have said it better by any means. Yeah, so on this show, there is potentially game development focus, which I hoped for. I really enjoy those. I've watched all programming shows. I always enjoy this topic. And I was writing my notes while we were watching this, and they were like, okay, they almost mentioned something about the game. They almost did something about the game. And then after like 10 episodes, the game development actually became a plot point. Like, did you feel like that?
I mean, I guess a little bit. It was focused more on how Alba started basically working for the first time in her life, and how she was taught how to do her job, how she felt about the quality of her job, the expectations placed upon her, and struggling with that more so than focus on the game development itself, which in itself we see more from the point of view of the design team, the graphics design team, rather than from the actual programming side of things, which we see very, very
The
briefly.
cutesiness and freaking out about menial tasks is definitely the focus. That is not much about the game development.
I feel like it's like every slice of life, isn't it? It's the thing that's the theme doesn't really like have the main stay, or what do you say, Adam? It's like typical in slice of life.
I would say it's the thing that like gives it some structure, but it is not the content.
I see.
It gives it context.
I was definitely watching this from the wrong point of view, but that's no surprise.
For me, it comes with the territory. It's cute girls doing cute things. They're going to be doing cute things, not working.
They were definitely not working. I don't think this is a spoiler. In the first like episode or second, she gets a task to make a character, and that's the first time they actually mention game development, and they get into like design this character, and the boss is like, okay, you haven't designed this too well, so you have to make it better. And she spends the whole day putting a shadow on a bow tie on a character, and the character looks the same after 11 hours of work, except one shadow line on it, and they're like, okay, you've done it. Well done.
But yeah, she was learning, so that was the point of like seeing how she learns, and it's not an easy process because she never did this task before. So
okay, the theme song started after I started watching this, and my immediate reaction to quote was
wait. Like,
what am I watching?
like the opening?
Yeah. And Shan saw what I was watching, and she was like, let me predict what characters are going to be in this show.
I predicted 100. No, it was 7% accurateness because I forgot one trope. But I predicted all characters before we started. We paused it and I said, there's going to be these people. And I went down the list and I was right. I was right. All of them.
Damn.
I literally called out each person that's going to be in this office once we got the main character, because she started out super stressed, like the super. So I was like, wait a minute. I know what's going to be the situation. I got it.
A lot can be read from the character design. That's true.
Yeah. So do you want to just sum up your prediction, or?
It was just that, after seeing, just the first, part, it just, the first few seconds when showing, Alba, and she's, super stressed about her, first day, and she runs into that lady, I was just like, okay, here's how it's gonna go. We're gonna have this super stressed, character, and then in the office, there's definitely gonna be the tomboyish, whatever, more sporty character. Then there's gonna be the cute character. I said that the cute character is either the one that's also nice and shy, or she's the one that's a little bit gossipy behind your back, which it turned out to be a little bit gossipy, the little blonde-haired one. And then I said, and then I said, there's gonna be the super sexy character that's a little bit too much in your face. And I said it's gonna be one of the coworkers or her boss, and it turns out to be her boss. And then I said that there's gonna be the character that is a little bit too like doesn't do the Japanese things, like isn't very polite, very direct, and that was the lady with all the like guns and stuff. And then I was like, since the one cute character wasn't the shy character, I said there's gonna be the shy character that's either secretly a bitch or she's just so shy that she seems like a bitch, which it was the second one, which was, you know, for me, whatever. And so I went down the list and it was all right. It was right. I was like...
So I saw the intro, immediate panties and like shots and asses everywhere, and then Chen told me this, and I was like, next 12 episodes of my life. That's what I was feeling.
Again, you just approached it like wrong. I would say that, yeah, nothing really happened. Like for me, it's kind of a, like if I spoke Japanese better, it'd be something I watched in the background. Like it has a comfortable pace of just being there. But you were like you said, it's just like a, like context, like Adam said, of them being in the game place. But like them doing nothing the whole episode, or her like stressing about these like one things that she's trying to fix or do or whatever, it's just a show going into extreme detail about all those little anxieties or bothersome problems and showing you someone's whole process of getting through whatever that issue was, but still them being cute and stuff. So
in that sense, it makes sense perfectly.
Yeah.
So you liked it, Adam, right?
I liked it very much, yes.
So is it because you can like really relax, or do you enjoy
I find these sorts of shows, particularly because there is next to no drama, or the drama is very light.
Okay,
That's exactly why I enjoy them so much.
I can see that's why it's designed for Japanese people, because recently I've been finding out that many Japanese people are just like very, very overworked and tired, and they just look for something where they can switch off and just like completely unwind, and the show allows you to do that. So that's a good point. I think for that kind of purpose it works really well.
Yeah, it feels comfortable. Like I felt comfortable the whole time, so I think it met its goal, served its purpose.
Yeah, it is definitely the anime you watch when you are stressed and just want to unwind. It really served me well after the like confessions book we were recording, because I was really depressed about that, and this anime actually helped get me through that. So yeah, it works.
For to reference what Martin's talking about, if you want to be depressed too, read the book and listen to our podcast Mind Tech Books, where we talk about confessions from Kanae Minato, which made us all depressed except Paulo, who revels in depression. So
Or watch the movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
Pretty okay too. Although I don't think that's quite as depressing.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was depressing either. But anyways, you answered my question, who is this show for? So I feel like I know. Because I had a huge gripe with this show. And that's why I wanted to ask who is this for, but I already understand. But there are very, very blatant sexual undertones in everything that happens. So much.
Yes.
So hard.
But I'm gonna say for later, just for later, of all the sexual undertones, they completely missed one of their own jokes. And I will talk about it later, but I was like, I even told Philip, like, what the heck? They didn't do it at this part of all the parts? So, yeah. But please continue.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit about why I think this is a problem. Like I promised, the second part gonna be spoilers. So I'm gonna get into like light spoilers, which I don't think you can spoil this show at all. Like there's stuff that happens, and
there's not much that happens.
Yeah. So there are two characters. The boss, blonde, no pants at any time.
No, she is.
She's basically the mentor of the main character. She's not really in charge of the whole team. She's mentor of Aoba.
Yeah.
And then there is so her name is Ko, and her coworker Rin, or subordinate, is her girlfriend.
But that's her superior.
Doesn't matter. These two. That's not important
it
at all.
It does, because Rin is soft
It's
and
definitely
quiet,
definitely
but
a
she's
sub.
the superior.
Yeah. She's a sub. And then Ko is definitely dumb, and this is so obvious. And then they get like into panties together, they get into bed each other, they massage each other, they kiss each other on foreheads, they massage each other's abdomens and like sigh.
Oh, that was
and they poke each other in the onsen. I was like, and everybody knows what this is about. Everybody knows what's happening.
Just get a room.
Just everybody knows. And I was like, if the show goes there and actually acknowledges that they have a relationship, I will be so happy and I'll praise this show to heaven. And if they just said it, I don't want them to have sex, I don't want them to kiss, I don't want them to do anything. I just want them to acknowledge that there is a lesbian relationship in a Japanese anime.
That was the point, is that all of these things are just like happening. All of this is supposed to just happen in a way that feels like it's just happening.
Okay,
nothing
but the
forced.
characters
So nothing
themselves
said.
didn't even acknowledge it.
But maybe they did, but it's just there. Nobody cares. It just is what it is.
To I guess give bit of how do I say this, anime trope explanation. This is what's commonly called yuri baiting, and that's what it is, and that's what many cute girls doing cute things show do, and it's a bit annoying.
It's like
So it's actually like focused on people who like Yuri or would enjoy Yuri, so that it draws their attention and more people watch it. Or
Yes,
what is it?
it's a bait. It looks
Okay,
like Yuri.
okay.
It's not really Yuri. To be fair, this is 12 episode show that covers about a quarter of the manga, maybe a third.
okay.
So there may be development later on.
So for the listeners and me, what's Yuri?
Yuri is like girls' love, and
Okay.
yaoi is like boys'
Oh, okay.
love.
Oh,
But-
girls or boys is
Okay.
both things, I think.
Oh, is it?
don't
Yuri
know.
is also like boys, but like less
No,
hardcore.
That's
That's yaoi.
Is it
no,
girls?
that's yaoi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
I mean,
sorry,
to
sorry.
be fair, like yaoi is commonly rather sexual.
Yeah,
like a lot
that's
more
what that-
sexual than Yuri. Yuri is the very pure
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
which like happened 100%, but they all said it didn't, and they all said like
But
it's
they
not
did
true. They never like. Okay, it's not normal to caress somebody, sleep with them, and then be freaking out that they came to work. Like, it doesn't make any sense what they said and did, because there were scenes where they blatantly wanted to go to bed together and have sex and loved each other, and the next morning they were pretending they're at work and they don't know each other
They're
and they
not
freaked out.
dating, though.
But they did everything to show they were dating, and then they pretended they weren't, and it's infuriating.
I don't think they were even pretending that they were.
I don't really think that's what happened. But
That's how I felt.
I that's not really how I interpreted.
Yeah.
They are roommates. They are very close, to be fair. Very close. Back to Yuri baiting there.
Very
And that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest is, as far as anime goes, like touching each other, seems to be normal-ish.
Yeah. For anime.
Okay.
Poking each other in the bath.
Okay.
As far as what I've heard, but haven't lived in Japan, even men poke each other in the belly if they are too fat.
Yeah, that's true.
You wouldn't do that here.
That's true.
That would, I wouldn't do that to my best friend.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
So the level of skinship is a bit different, seemingly.
Skinship. So many people have
Here we
different.
go with the skinship again.
So many people have various opinions about skinship. I asked Japanese, American, Australian, and I don't still know what this means. What do you think it means? Skinship.
I thought it was actually just a really close relationship.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to mean. Yeah, like a really, really good
Literally,
relationship.
how close the relationship
Exactly.
is,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay, just to be clear, because some people told me that's not what it means at all. But so I just put skinship in the dictionary, and it says physical contact between friends or mother and child, physical intimacy. So that's what somebody told me, that it didn't mean like a close relationship. What they meant by it in Japanese was to actually touch each other.
Ah, okay.
It's not that specific. That's not what it. I don't know if that what it means in Japanese. That's not what it means in English.
Okay.
Yeah, that they steal words, so that's what it means to them.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it might mean that in Japanese. I don't know.
So wait, what was the dictionary definition?
Dictionary
Exactly.
literally says physical
But it's
contact.
the Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the Japanese meaning of the word skinship.
Okay, yeah.
Well, anyway, so to slowly round up the first part, I'd say that this show is great to relax. It made me laugh a few times. There were some funny bits. It's very well animated. There are many cute characters, and for your cuteness overload and all that, it's very good.
Yeah, for a Cute Girls Doing Cute Things show, it's very well animated. It's very lively.
Yeah, it has nice transition between the art styles when it's needed for the comedy. That's what I liked about it as well.
Okay. Anything else before we move on to spoilers?
Maybe one thing.
Okay.
Maybe one thing. Let's get back to the fan service, the sexualization we talked about.
Okay.
Oh, here we
Because
go.
I have a note here that Martin kind of led me to this thought I had.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
almost on level of your thought of the
Oh,
day.
yeah, nice.
Almost. So
Okay, preparing the red cards.
now I fully agree that in this show it's kind of annoying and rather out of place. The manga isn't quite as bad, mainly because if you have a small square, there's not really much you can show there.
Any space for sexual innuendo in one square.
Yeah. It is a bit too much. I fully agree this show went a bit too far in certain sequences. For example, the Girls and Panzer I recommended last time, the director specifically said he does not want any panty shots in that show.
Yes,
And
and
there
that was
are none.
amazing. That was amazing. There
That
was
was really good.
basically no fan service, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, I think this show, it could have been done less sexually. I understand that they wanted to show that some people sleep in their underwear in the office. I'm sure that's a thing. Probably.
Yeah.
It could have been done better. However, 2 weeks ago, I watched this new show on Apple TV called Foundation. It's not an anime.
Okay.
And I think this extends to a lot of Western production. There are these. This is minor spoilers. It's the second episode. I'm not gonna name the characters. There are two characters that we are introduced to in the first episode. In the second episode, it's shown that they are in a relationship. There is a bit of skinship. They kiss. Yeah, great. Now we know they're in a relationship. 10 minutes later, they are having sex. Fine. They are in a serious relationship. We understand that now. But the scene continues, and we watch them for like 2 minutes having sex. Like, okay, we could have skipped this. This has no bearing on the story.
Okay.
I don't care. Halfway through the episode, they are having sex again in the pool. I don't care. I get it. They are in a relationship. Do we need to graphically show me that they are having sex in a pool? A public bath, mind you. Okay, I'm getting kind of annoyed there.
Okay.
Like this is a 15-minute episode, an hour-long episode, where we've spent like good 10 minutes watching, like, and by the end of the episode, we get another fucking sex scene.
Oh my god, so
I'm
many
like,
times.
can we not? Can we fucking not?
Okay, I'm so glad I'm reading this and not watching this.
Yeah, because like the books are not really character focused at all, but
Okay.
that's complete off topic. So I think Western shows do this a lot too, in a different way.
right,
They
yeah.
really glorify the sex in relationships, and they need to show you. They absolutely need to show you, and it's fucking annoying. It's drives
Yeah,
me
it's-
insane.
That's a very good point.
Feels like
I
they
rant
want
over.
to somehow like have a hook for the wide public, I think. And what's the best way to do it? Hey, put sex in it. I don't know,
Yeah.
but like in any other show, I feel like I would be okay with it. But this show, The Foundation, and to an extent, New Game, like there is no reason to have sexual things in this. Like Foundation is a very dry book, to say the least, and it doesn't really have anything to do with relationships. So why do we need to have relationships in the show about
I
this?
don't have problem with the relationships. I just have problem with the
Relation.
portrayal
Yeah, the
of the
sexualization.
relationship. That with
skinship.
the portrayal of the skinship. After the first scene, I get it. While anime is definitely guilty of, and New Game in particular, of over-sexualizing things in general, Western shows are not like free from this either.
Yeah.
They just do it
I
differently.
agree, it's much more subtle in anime and it serves the plot much more than in Western shows.
To be fair, anime is generally nowhere near as graphic.
Yeah.
Mostly. So
thanks.
Well, let's move on to the spoilers.
Thanks for the thought of the day. So if you want to watch this, if you haven't watched this and you are afraid you can be spoiled, which you can't, hit stop and come back after you've seen this. We're gonna move on to the second part and you're gonna get into the story, which there isn't much. And to start with, I'd like to read you my list of characters.
Oh, so you actually had you diagnosed all the characters?
I didn't diagnose the
and their
characters. I
tropes?
tried my best to know who's who, and I failed. So first revision of this list had Aoba, main character, super freaked out about anything. And then Nene, even more annoying and childish, I hate her. That's my two. And the rest of the characters was a question mark. So I revised this list and I wrote down Ko, tall, blonde, strict, sexy blonde girl. Rin, her girlfriend. Aoba, Nene, I mentioned. Hifumi, no idea who that was. Umiko,
Shy girl.
Is that really all Rin is? Rin is just Ko's girlfriend. That's it.
I don't know anything she did. So then
What the hell?
Umiko, guns and
Come
DOS
on.
programming. Shizuku, pussycat owner, probably the manager.
What do you mean probably?
Hotaru, big boobs, no idea what she does.
I mean, they explain all those things quite clearly.
Yeah.
Everyone does. To be fair, I agree that Rin isn't really important character. I completely agree with just calling her Ko's girlfriend. I totally get where you're coming from. She doesn't really have that much of a strong place in the story.
Okay.
The rest I'm kind of so-so on those descriptions, but fair enough. One thing I find interesting, both you and Chen describe Ko as sexy. That's not at all how I would describe
Yeah,
her.
that's not how
Yeah.
I described her either.
Well, she was the
Actually-
most naked, and
But I said sexy for the boss.
That doesn't mean she's sexy, yeah.
The boss
Oh.
of the cat, but like, no.
I see.
Ko-
I see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant Ko.
No,
I meant Ko.
I meant the boss,
she's
like
a-
with the cat, because the way that she talks, like more like ladylike,
I've-
and
Ah,
she's
yeah.
always like pushing her boobs up with her arms and like, yeah. I meant her.
to me, definitely.
I would say she's classy more than sexy.
Yeah,
Like this
Yeah,
boss
like,
lady.
yeah. It's. I was thinking more like the voice itself.
The voice
She
was
don't have a
very.
classic-
Yeah,
voice,
the voice is
but-
suggestive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'd say
She's the most confident. She's always standing very proudly somewhere without any pants or skirts. She's always like being upfront and like deciding things and being the dom.
but she still says it in a Japanese way.
But she's and then they dress her up as a princess just to like show her cute side too. So to me, this is definitely like the sexual fantasy of the viewers. I don't know.
I thought she was kind of dull.
Yeah, but the others are too.
I could fill the missing pieces on the list. Hifumi is the character designer
Okay.
also, and Hotaru is from the animation team.
Okay.
She just sits in with in the booth with them because there was no place in
Yeah.
animation.
So how can I tell them apart on this show? Different hair and different height. No pants.
Different boob
they
size, I
look
guess.
And boob size
Yeah,
is
that's
just one of them.
normally in anime. You just have to. Like, yeah, the faces are not really that distinguishable in anime, so you have to just.
I don't. Do you distinguish people only from their face?
Yes.
Like you have to use the hair, the clothes, the way of
Like-
talking. You know, just
Out of
all
all
the
the
other
shows,
things.
like this has one of the, in my opinion, most, especially the main office, but really everyone there, dresses in very specific
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
Could it be easier to tell them apart? Could it be
Also, a plus to this anime, the hair colors are actually realistic.
Oh, that's right.
Even and they are distinguishable but realistic, which is pretty nice, I think.
Except for
Actually,
maybe
they're not
Alba's.
Yeah, she's the main character. She has to have special
shit.
colored.
Oh, she's the special snowflake. Yeah, of course.
But I mean, like, if you're having this much trouble, like, come on. I've read like the Josei manga, and their faces look the same, and they fucking change their hair and outfits every day, and like every every few panels when it's a new day. So
fuck.
you really have to pay attention to who is who. It's really hard.
So how
Really?
how do you do that then?
Should watch the Land of the Lustrous. That would be brilliant for a film. You could absolutely not tell who is who because everyone has the same body. They literally have different hair.
Crazy.
Literally exact same
Well,
design.
it's
For
gonna-
each
if-
character.
And colors, they're basically color coded.
Yeah, by hair. Only by hair.
By hair and.
But when you read
Yeah, that's it.
manga, like, it's not like in color. I mean, sometimes they do the shading, but like that's the worst. There's no colors.
like-
Just that.
Okay, so one other thing I want to mention quickly is I liked the knockoff brands. There is not PlayStation, PS4. There is PZ4.
Oh, PZ4, yeah.
There is not There's not Autodesk Maya, but it's Autodesk Saya. Which Autodesk Maya is my favorite software I've ever used. It's amazing. It's an animation 3D modeling thing. That's how they got me. It's just like a strap that sprung on me. I like all these things, but I hate what's happening. So it's like the perfect flip trap. So shall we get into the episodes?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So episode 1, Aoba gets the new job, joins the company. The company is called
Eagle Jump.
Eagle Jump. And best character of the show, the hedgehog.
Oh, love him.
I think he shows
Oh,
up.
the hedgehog
I
is
love-
very
soon.
cute.
I
Yes.
love him a lot.
I totally forgot about like the hedgehog. He was there like 2 times, I think.
Oh, yeah,
and
sometimes.
Just I don't know.
Doesn't talk, doesn't do anything sexual. Love him.
Easily distinguishable from the other
Yeah,
characters.
different.
That's true. Yeah, you can distinguish him from others. That's true, but I feel like it didn't have any role in the.
Its role was to look cute, and it did that perfectly.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So they talk about the company's portfolio and what games do they make. Farizu Sutori 3. That's the game they're working on. And I was like, okay, so are they going to get into this game development? Is there any talk about it? No. So they just mentioned the name of the game, and that's it. So one of the first episodes, I think the first one, maybe the second one, Character X talks to Character Y. I think they talk to Aoba, and Character X might be, I don't know, the hedgehog owner. I don't know who that is. One of those. One of them.
Hifumi,
okay.
right?
And she's like, okay, I have this.
My favorite character. Yeah.
Never noticed anything she did. Famous character.
I like all of her
Doesn't do much
messages on the first like
Oh, yeah,
episode
yeah, okay.
because
I
all her
remember.
messages are super upbeat and whatever, but she's like
Yeah, I love
Ridiculous.
all the
Shy
like,
to talk.
cute emoji she adds
Oh, yeah,
to the
yeah, I remember.
messages.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
yeah. So,
pretty brilliantly conveyed that she is actually really like energetic and open person, just not in real life.
So Hifumi, she's got the pet hedgehog, and she shows a photo of the hedgehog to Aoba, and she's like, "Yeah, this is super cute." And she took a selfie, and she smiled in the selfie, and she looked super cute and beautiful and perfect with her like super perfect looking cute hedgehog, and she showed it to Aoba. Aoba was like, "Yeah, it's perfect." And then, to show you how much they freak out about bullshit, she says, "Okay, you've seen me smile in a picture. She took the picture to show it. She smiled in the picture and she took it herself and she intended to take a selfie of herself to show it to somebody else and she showed it to show her fucking hedgehog. And then she got upset about somebody else seeing it and not about seeing it, but about seeing herself smile and looking good in the picture. What the fuck?
I said don't.
Wait.
I think. If I may, I think she took the picture not to show it. She took the picture, and then when she was showing Alba pictures of her hedgehog, this picture came up. That's it. And she was embarrassed because she didn't want to show this picture.
I was like, this convoluted, like, conglomerate
It's
of convolution is like, how do I even follow this train of thought?
Very easily.
So that's the first 2 episodes. Second episode, my note is drinking party, nothing happens.
I also love like how the company manager always shows up out of nowhere in this place, and at the drinking party it was really nice to just like she shows up, eats their stuff, drinks their stuff, and just leaves.
Yeah, like she secretly like eats it, and then like like Cole notices or whatever because she's like, thanks for the
but
food, and she's like,
only
what?
after she went. Yeah.
Speaking of the director, she's got this soothing, wooing you into submission voice. And she's got a cat in the office who's fat and very cute. And the cat likes to sleep on the main character or something. And there's like a constant interaction with the main character and the director. The director is trying to like suggest that she should take care of the kitty because she likes it so much. And at one point, I don't know if it's the second episode, third episode, the director comes up and she like almost whispers. She comes like really close to her face while the cat is on her lap. And she's like, please take care of my pussycat and punish it if you feel so. And I was like, what? What did you just say?
Those were the like hidden desires of the author, like, just personified in this character.
I'm not sure which episode this was, but I was like, damn.
Since we are already talking about her, I might as well mention this because we are going to get to it. There are no men in the company.
Yeah, I went to say
Yeah,
that.
I wanted to fucking say that. Like,
this is
where are the men?
I don't believe this is explained in the first. It's not explained in the first season. It is mentioned in the second
Is it?
season, and it has very, very simple explanation.
Okay.
Shizuku is the game director, and she decides who gets hired. She only hires cute girls.
Okay, well, okay, but in the city,
That's the explanation.
onsen, restaurant, anywhere on the street, no men.
Yeah, like
And you don't need
No.
to see men there.
there were men
I
in
think
the
that there may have
final
been some
episodes.
at the queues. At the
Yeah, in the
very end.
queues at the final episodes,
Yeah.
we actually saw some
Yeah.
male characters.
And in the
Otherwise,
onsen, it's
never,
not shared,
Of course,
nowhere.
it's
the
not
onsen,
shared
yeah, okay.
bath, so there wouldn't be men. Or something.
I guess there is an explanation for it, but it still doesn't make sense to not see any male characters.
I got it. I honestly think, along with that, at least what I've noticed in Japan, girls ignore guys. So I think it's like part of like you don't see them because they're not seeing them, so they're there.
Ah, so
But-
it's like from the point
Yeah.
of view of, oh, but there are no guys
exactly.
around.
She's not
Okay.
paying attention to them at all. So that's how I took it. So that would make it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't know why I was so annoyed by it, but I was. I don't know. It felt like
from my
there
point of view,
should
that's
have
again-
been more guys. But your explanation works really well.
That's
I-
again
it's
something that comes with the territory. This is cute because doing cute things show men have no place in it. That's just how
yeah.
it is. Just how it is.
So episode 3, did you see the running? It looked promising, and she fell immediately. On her face.
Oh yeah, she ran really nicely.
On her face. Immediately.
This is why the Japanese don't run like normal people because they fall on their face apparently.
Episode 4, game development is never talked about ever again. Finally, though, it's funny. And the boob character has a sword, and they do like a fun sword block action fight, which is
That was like episode like 8.
no, that's 4.
Wow.
That's a blade.
I think they do it again later.
Maybe they did it more times, but it was pretty funny. I laughed, and
Yeah.
even though it's a blatant excuse to jiggle the boobs, Same episode, they get naked into an onsen and poke each other, squirt at each other with water, and so all the sexual like tension in this episode maximum.
I agree with you on that one. That was a really sexual episode. I just had one note, which like is it really normal to just sleep over at work in Japan?
I guess it could happen.
There would be people cleaning up the place. Maybe, but I don't know.
They're in very Japanese way, they clean very silently. I do have to say, I kind of struggle with where on one hand it seems like everyone is in some sort of wage slavery, but there must be like people working normal jobs. Surely there exist normal jobs, and to an extent, the Japanese seem to be really into their hobbies. Like a lot of them seem to have like one hobby, but they are super into it.
Oh yeah.
That takes time and money.
Yeah.
Like, if they sleep at the office, when do they do those hobbies?
They don't.
I mean, those could be different people, but like, I just don't see the overlap ever.
If it helps you from a Kaiwa experience, for one, about like company things, okay, like sleeping over. This isn't directly about sleeping over, but just crazy things that happen in the office. For example, it's like one student, his company space fills up sometimes, like there's too many people, so he has to go pay himself to go sit at a coffee shop, like order coffee and work all day at the coffee shop and just keep ordering like coffee because he couldn't fit into the office space, but they don't pay for it. He has to pay for it.
Insane.
And another gets kidnapped by his boss to go into karaoke rooms because it's a cheap working space, so they sit and work in a karaoke room all day long.
Insane.
And he had to take like sick leave or special doctor's leave because he was spending way too much time with like his boss and blah blah blah. So some crazy shit happens with company employees and working, so staying over might
That's the third person I heard of who had to be diagnosed by a doctor to actually have a holiday, and then they prescribed 1 month off compulsory. And that's the third person I've heard of. They just overwork so hard, and they like complain at the factory, the company. They like go to HR and they complain, and then they have a psychologist interview, and then they properly are prescribed to work less, and then it actually happens. But this guy in particular was so nice, and it was so like dying, and now after a month of doing nothing, he's a new person. It's so funny because he was very hardworking and organized, and now we had an online lesson. He had like a dog on his lap, and he was like, okay, wait a minute, and 10 minutes nothing. He was just making coffee, and today he came, and I was like, are you working really hard again? He was like, nope. And I found this game.
Yeah, I think the month is a good time because it basically becomes a habit when you work too much and too hard and are in the gears of just doing everything for the company and for the boss. So I kind of understand it. And the month leave is basically the minimum, I think, to break those habits. Yeah. Because it takes like 21 days to make or break a habit, usually. So yeah, I'm not like surprised that much that he became a new person, because he actually broken out of those gears of the working environment.
So sad that they have to do
I think every Japanese should do that, because this is so ingrained in the culture, it seems like.
Episode 5. Cole's backstory. Briefly mentioned animating a character. No game development mentioned ever again. And that's about it.
It almost seems like they mentioned the game development every other episode.
Okay, they did, but they didn't really talk about it.
That's the key word, they mentioned.
Yeah.
Episode 6. This is where shit goes down. They start the episode out of nowhere. Character sleeping on the bed. Long shot zooming in, lingering on ass.
Yeah.
So hard. Panties everywhere, and she's like sleeping with her legs spread, and the ass is like bulged up, and they're like zooming on the ass. so long. Okay, so to show it, but don't zoom on it like 7 seconds. Very uncomfortable. You remember?
I share your
I agree that this one
I
really
share
stood
your
out. It was
feelings
like,
there.
yeah, that's really unnecessary.
After that, they slept in the office again, and the main character got a bear sleeping bag.
That was really cool sleeping.
So that was fun. Episode 7. Military girl shootout, aka
Umiko.
the programmer. So she's finally, like, every time something happens, she keeps carrying around airsoft guns and shooting at people and shooting on the floor, scaring them, which is pretty fun. And finally she...
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's hilarious. Hello.
Finally she goes...
Please don't shoot at people with airsoft guns.
She finally goes all out and they go in a place on the roof, I think, or somewhere, and she shows them all the guns and they have like a shootout. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like this was Adam's favorite episode. At least I would guess.
I wouldn't say so, but it was a fun episode.
This is definitely my favorite episode. Stuff happened a lot here. Something happened. Thank you.
It was fun.
Wait, but there was the second part then.
But in this episode, they went to have the health check. So this is the part where the examiner comes and lifts their shirts and then is amazed by the abdomen of all of them. She's
Oh yeah, that was
okay. I don't know how many.
like you have really nice abs.
That's so
oh,
weird.
Yeah, do I? Yeah.
And she was like touching it and stroking it. She was like, "Yeah, we do sports too." Like, what? So you wanted to talk about a bunch of stuff about the medicine and stuff. Do you want to get into it or not?
Yes.
Wait, I had a comment about the airsoft
Okay.
though. First, sorry. This was the part that I felt like they missed the mark, where they constantly throw in all kinds of sexual things, even in the whole medical checkup, like they're looking at each other's boobs, touching each other's abs, blah blah blah. But when they do the airsoft, she's explaining to her like how to play, and they instantly show you what's going on. But it would have been a perfect opportunity in what they're constantly doing, their sexual innuendos, of doing like one of those moments, because she's like, okay, squeeze it firmly, hold it, like whatever. But they instantly show them. They don't like show like some other scene where you're just like listening and you're like, what's going on? And then they show that they're just like playing with like guns. They just immediately show you what's happening, and I was like very surprised. Like, it's nice that they didn't do something sexualized, but it was like, of all the things I thought that this would be
I
it.
think because such in general would involve like implying there are men in this world. Yeah, I think all of the innuendos are like only focused on women.
That's
Oh,
true.
focused on women. Yeah.
That's true.
So that might be why.
Okay.
I
But
mean,
can't you squeeze a woman's boob? Like,
That's not quite the shape of a gun, I guess.
yeah, like it could work for a woman, like for women, right? Just I don't know, but yeah, you should be a director. I think like it would work.
Okay, sorry, that was just...
You found a perfect
Fine,
way
it's
to
fine.
make this anime even more sexual than it was.
Okay, sorry, on to the medical stuff.
I just want to say I find it fascinating that that thing exists.
Like health checkups in general.
Yes,
in
the
Japan.
semi-mandatory health checkups. Yes.
Japanese people are constantly horrified that we don't have them in Europe. Horrified, like freaking out. They're like, "Oh, you don't go to have a checkup? Oh!" That's what they do in the
I
lesson.
haven't seen my doctor in years. Like, unless there is something wrong, I'm not going to the doctor.
Same. That's the same
I told
in
the guy
US.
today in the lesson, and he was like, he was like very concerned for our health, and he immediately was like, "Furipusan, did you have a checkup?" I was like, yes, last year. It's like, thank God. Little did he know that it wasn't to have checkup. I just went to a clinical trial and had myself tested and pumped with drugs. So I told him he was probably passed out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to say about this medicine?
I was actually just really surprised by Aoba's reaction in the first shot. Just, I never had a barium enema. I'm so excited. Like, it was so freaking, like, I couldn't believe what I just read at that point. And I just had to look up what a barium enema is. Like, did you know what barium enema is?
No.
Yes.
But I thought it was very strange too that she said it, that she was excited.
No, I thought that was the joke, but what is it then? Tell us.
I mean, the joke is that she wants a weird medical procedure because she has no fucking idea what it is.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, maybe she knows what it is, and that's the like
I'm
weird
pretty
thing.
sure
Even
she
worse.
doesn't know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's worse.
But yeah, I didn't know, so I had to watch like a 3-minute instructional video about what a barium enema is, and now I know. And I don't know if I should like, go into details because it's quite gross.
To
I can't
yourself.
believe you actually made it through the video.
It was really nicely done video about how they shove a thing in your ass, and they put a lot of barium in your intestines, and then they röntgen it and or X-ray it, and X-ray it, and see how your intestines look like from the inside.
But like, it seems so old, like old-fashioned, like how Japan still uses fax machines for everything. Like, you can take the barium drink and it just goes slower, but it does the same thing.
It's not proper. They want to be certain.
So I would rather take the drink, thank you, and you can wait like an hour for it to make it to my, bowel. So I don't want it shoved up my butt.
Obviously.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think that maybe they were just emphasizing that, like, she's clearly a kid. Constantly they're talking about how immature she is, or like going towards it or leaning towards it. So she probably knew that her insides would light up, but she didn't know any other things that were gonna go with that process. So that's probably what she was like. Oh yeah, I'm gonna glow.
Episode 8. Finally, the game development is a proper plot point. They figure out that they have bugs in the game and they have to find bugs. It's actually happening. They actually talk about game development. Oh my god!
No way!
Everybody freaks
They
out.
actually make a game.
Yeah. I think that's the time that Nenechi, the friend of Aobaka, joins the company.
Wait, sorry.
Yep.
There's something I forgot. Episode 7, really quick, because you said bugs. When she first meets Umiko, it pissed me the fuck off that Alba, like, didn't realize she was getting errors on her, like, models that she was making. When Umiko points out on her screen, do you see this error log? Like, she was like, oh, that means it won't work. Bitch, of course it won't work. It says error. You just ignored that? Are you serious? There's this big giant ass box that does not go away, that's red, and it's like error. Please, what?
Okay, like, to be frank,
as a programmer, I can
frank.
confirm this happens.
Yes, to be frank,
end
as
users.
a person who programs stuff, if it works, it doesn't matter if
No,
it
she's
throws
an
error.
art.
It works.
No.
She's the art.
I mean,
Yeah, even more with the art, designer. It's like not. It doesn't matter if like there's some random error. If my design looks
Exactly.
fine, why should I bother? Like,
to a less technically inclined person,
Very
if
common.
it works, it works.
Very common.
Okay.
Error is invisible.
Okay, I do believe that's how they think about it. But that's not how I fucking think
Of
about
course.
it. If I see something that says an error, I'm going to check it. Just be like, what is this? What does it mean? I'm not going to be like, oh, here's a box. And
it's true that like she's new to the thing, so I would expect that she would actually get
yeah.
how Elba is basically flustered about everything and has worries about
That's exactly what I
everything.
was
Yeah.
She would probably get worried about this as well and ask someone.
Yeah.
So it kind of doesn't make sense with her character because
She's clumsy.
She's clumsy, but she's not blind, I think. And
Apparently she is.
she's doing this model for a long time, she would notice that there is a window down there that shows some red stuff. And she would read that probably, right? So I don't know. But yeah, from a programmer's standpoint, if you do this long enough, you kind of get like desensitized. Like you just kind of learn to ignore the errors that don't really matter. And just,
to be fair, we
it's
have
a problem
bunch of,
for
like,
other people.
warnings in our software. Ignore them. It works.
I can
The
understand
errors that when it won't compile, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Compiles, great.
Yeah, I can understand
care
for
about the
programming, but I was like, she's making an art piece, and then, like you said, her personality, and I was just like so mad that like she totally ignored this for 11 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, because she was perfecting it. She should have like everything because the boss told her to make it better, and that's why she should have noticed all the details.
So sorry, that made me so bad.
Also, Ko should have noticed that as well.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
That's how
She was
true.
well,
That's bad mentoring.
Oh, that's a fair complaint. Go should have noticed.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next with
That's all I want to say about
Neneti.
8.
Was that 7 and 8 was Neneti joining the company? But you don't like Neneti.
I hate her.
I always like to do
I
her
actually
voice.
hate her as well. It's just, she's so annoying.
Yes.
I understand. She's annoying at the beginning, but she really grew on me. And she has a somewhat larger role in the second season, and she's a pretty cool character.
I can see that this is very good potential for character growth. Okay, episode 9.
Yep.
This was your favorite episode, for sure, Phil.
I appreciate they made fun of the upskirt shot. This episode starts with her finding a bug, and she can like glitch the camera into looking up the skirt, and of course you can see everything because of course.
Oh, come on. I felt like you would be like more annoyed by that.
No, I like that. I like that because I really appreciate it because they actually acknowledged it. I don't mind the sexual nature. I don't mind the innuendos. I don't mind any suggestion or anything. I hate they don't acknowledge it, and they actually pointed it out and they made a joke out of it and a thing out of the show. So I liked it. This was like a good thing. I didn't like the parts where they are showing it and doing it and not saying it's happening. I hate the contradiction. So this part I like.
Because here it was used for a purpose in the story, not just for fan service.
Yeah, one of the characters gets sick.
Yeah, that's the episode where we see that Ko has this like a gentle side in her, right? And that she actually cares about other people.
And somebody takes a shower and we see everything but nipples.
Yeah, nipples don't exist in anime. No.
Episode 10, metal music, and Aoba is seen as a person who might be mean to friends, and we get some backstory that she got bullied by children without eyes, which was horrifying.
Children without eyes.
There was a scene where she was getting beaten up, or they were making fun of her, and the animation.
Like, yeah, I remember that, but I don't
and
remember
in the animation,
them having
they were
no eyes.
they were boys. They were boys.
It's just
Yeah, they were
normal art style.
Oh, boys.
things,
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
Oh my god, there were boys, like 3 of
But they
them.
didn't have eyes.
But they didn't have
Oh,
eyes.
that's
completely irrelevant characters, so you just don't draw their eyes
Exactly.
because who gives a
It's
shit?
very creepy. I didn't like that.
I mean, they were supposed to be creepy. There were some
So
bullies
it
or
worked,
something.
Yeah,
in that
it's
sense,
true.
it worked really well. I was very disturbed.
Yeah, perfect.
This was the episode where I was just like, where the fuck are all the male characters in this anime?
they showed
It took you a while to notice.
And I should have noticed much earlier probably, but like this was the episode when it just hit me. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Even when it shows like the times when Alba's like at home, like they'll mention her dad, but she's always talking to her mom. Like,
Yeah.
he's not even in there.
So they just squeeze episode 11 and 12 together. I don't have much to say. The game development finally became a point in the plot,
Yes.
and they finally released the game, and they finally like have to do the crunch and sleep in the office all the time and get exhausted and overworked and finally finish the game. So after 11 episodes, game development finally is a thing that they do in the show.
Didn't you feel at least a little bit nostalgic about seeing the like opening of the game, of like, the game they were developing? Like, Did you
No.
at least have some feelings? No feelings about like this
No.
brainchild or this like soul child coming to life, which was developed throughout the 10
They looked up at
episodes,
me, and I looked down, and I whispered, "No."
Well, thanks. I hate it. Yeah, I hate your whole point. No, no, I actually like wanted to see if you had some feelings for it. Like, this whole anime was pointing to this one point that they were finishing the game, and it was to be exciting, and it actually felt exciting at that point. I feel like I had some.
Yeah, because they were really into it.
Yeah.
Like the characters are super excited and got me excited as well.
Yeah, I only could imagine how it feels for the people who were working on this game for a year or even more, and just see this opening at a big screen in front of a lot of people, being accepted by the public and being like praised and being actually a good thing, a good game. So those feelings kind of rubbed on me, and it felt nice.
awesome.
I think it was like those 2 final episodes were my favorite, thanks to that.
Yeah, I would agree with
It
that.
only worked because of the first 10 episodes, because they were, even though the development wasn't really there, it was mentioned enough that
You got attached to the characters and by extension to the thing they were making, and then when they got excited, you got excited as well. I think they sold it really, really well. The how ecstatic they were about the game release.
yeah, it felt nice.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you guys had that feeling.
But it was still nice that, to kind of see the convention and get to see them like happy, and also to see that they're still treated like normal people, like they had to wait in line to get their own stuff.
The whole thing
Like-
with the collectible goods, that's so Japanese. Holy shit.
Yeah, like
Yes.
is that still a thing in Japan? Like lining up for exclusive stuff or for game releases? Is that really actually a thing?
Our ex-coworker went to like the Gundam factory when it opened up in Yokohama. He showed us a picture, and it was like this huge, long, winding, insane. He was there. He was
definitely.
there early, and he was there in line for about 4 hours, and he was near the front, and he was nowhere near the front, but he was near the front of the line. And yeah, just for them to get some exclusive like model that was only that day for like opening day while supplies lasted. Yes, people go for those collectibles still
God
here.
damn.
It's
Remember
crazy.
the line I was in for Wonder Festival?
Yeah, but that was an event. I feel like that was an event, and you were just waiting in line for getting into the event.
For
That makes sense.
5
Like,
hours.
yeah, but it's just it's a lot of people. I get it.
I because Japan runs on limited like goods. the flavors of things that appear like seasonally
Yeah.
in different prefectures and all that. That's just Japanese
And it's
thing.
what you guys said earlier, how they'll have this one like super hobby. So if that's your super hobby,
yeah,
you
that's
are
right.
gonna
Yeah.
get in that line.
Yeah, you're gonna wait
Yeah,
in
you're
that
gonna get
line
it.
like vigorously.
So Aoba is promoted to be the art director, and Nene is fired. Yes.
No,
No,
wait.
she's not.
Ko is gonna be
The
art director.
Never mind.
And Hifumi is gonna take Ko's spot,
Never mind.
probably.
But Aoba wishes to be
Hifumi, yeah.
something,
Well, yeah, she wishes
but
to be
she
more.
doesn't.
And we will have to watch the second season to find out.
Aoba just wanted to be what? Like she wanted to be, more energetic about the next work she's doing, and like wanted to be more like Ko. But I don't think she had any new position, did she?
No, she didn't.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I messed up who's who. Okay. So that's about all with the episode. So thank you for watching this collectively. I want to say I'd like to do this again, but do I?
I guess next
You
time we
must do
can't
it
let you
again.
pick.
Just do it.
Because you will pick the worst option. And we will have to actually pick anime you might actually like.
This is like this show's ultimate challenge. You picking something I like. Yeah. To end, I want to say that you have convinced me and you have proven many of my points and grievances wrong. So I think that was the point of this show. And I like that you said that it's about the characters' feelings and working through the emotions, and there's like a whole climax to it. And yeah, it's not a bad show. Not for me at all.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad we were able to at least convince you that it was watchable and it had a point. So that's nice.
It's not a show I would recommend to Martin.
Yeah,
I mentioned it to him that it exists.
I wouldn't watch that normally.
wouldn't recommend it to him. I wouldn't recommend it to you. Well, definitely wouldn't.
There's nothing you would recommend.
Picked only because I mentioned it had something to do with video
Exactly.
games, and I should have really gone into more detail.
So thank you for watching all this stuff. Final words. Would you recommend it? I wouldn't. Anybody, just in general, would you recommend it? I wouldn't at all.
I wouldn't recommend it to just anyone.
Okay.
Like, no, if someone doesn't watch anime, this is not the anime to start with. So, no, I wouldn't generally recommend it, even though I think As a Cute Goose Doing Cute Things show is pretty good.
I'd recommend it to someone who had rose-colored glasses.
Okay.
I mean, someone that's just used to just wanting something that's relaxing or that they can just be like, ah, kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
if you
is
want to
what
watch
it
this, you know you want to watch this. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You said you would recommend it to like people with rose-colored glasses. I felt like I would recommend it to the other people, like to people who are depressed and feel like there's everything wrong with the world, so they want to escape to something different. And this has the perfect amount of everyday struggles that don't really matter, but the people are freaking out about it. So if you are freaking about your own struggles in the real world, this anime might show you that it doesn't really matter that much.
I have a counter to that. You didn't really like it though. And you are basically describing yourself right now, so you don't recommend it.
Yes.
I think it's great. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, you have a point there. So no. For people like me, no. Okay, no. I don't recommend it.
This is the first episode. Highly not recommended. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, let us know on mindduckjapan@gmail.com. Next episode, Oruchuban Ebichu.
Oh yeah, Emichu!
Oh, is this thing?
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?